Good afternoon, and we are back with the second part of, our Hispanic History Month, Hispanic Heritage Month, talking about our leadership here in the city of Aurora. And we have seven strong Latino leaders from the city of Aurora that are here to talk about what they do, what their culture brings to the city, and how they help to make this city run. So I want to welcome them to the screen. Good look, you guys all look great. You look wonderful. Thanks for coming on with us and talking this afternoon. And let's just have a good time, telling people who we are and what we do here in the city of Aurora. First, we have representing the mayor's office is my right hand, who has been with me more than a decade or 10 years, not just here at the mayor's office, but my law firm years ago as mayor's office manager, Maria Lindsay. Say hi, everybody. Maria.
Hi.
All right, Maria's in the house. Wait, Maria, just Maria, y'all. Not everybody waving. Oh, wait, you're waving at Maria. Okay, that's okay. All right, there we go. Representing the Aurora Police Department is Detective Sandra Navarrete. She's an investigator with a heart for the community service as well. Say hi to everybody, Sandra.
Hello.
Hey, now everybody can wave at Sandra. That's all right, now that I know what we're all doing. Next is our new assistant superintendent of the entire street division. He was recently promoted to the position and hit the ground running. Welcome, Adrian Perez. What's up, my brother Adrian in the house?
How you doing?
All right, my man, got that deep voice, man, like Barry White. We also have with us our new community engagement manager, who is also a sharp attorney as well. We used to practice, together way back in the day when we practiced law. That's Viviana Ramirez. Hey there, Viviana, how you doing?
Hey.
All right, good to see you. She keeps several citywide IT projects on track and moving forward as the head of our IT project management office. Christine Trinidad. Say hey to everybody, Christine. How you doing?
Hello, hola, buenos dias.
All right, there you go. And finally, we have our first ever Latino to serve as the deputy mayor of Aurora. He's a fellow Tomcat. We all, me and him both be black and red, and I know a couple of us on this screen do. And former Aurora police officer, retired after almost 30 years, Memo Trujillo. Say what's up to the people, deputy mayor.
Hi, everybody.
In the house. All right, you know what? Let's go ahead and start this conversation off. Tell the community a little bit more about you professionally, what you do here for the city of Aurora, and how you help make this city go. Maria, why don't you kick us off?
Sounds good. Thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity. Like you mentioned, my name is Maria, and my maiden last name is Nicasio. So Maria Nicasio. My married last name is Lindsay. I am the office manager here in the mayor's office. I was born in Mexico City, and so I am a Chilanga. My parents are from Guanajuato, and my parents brought me over when I was 6. I attended Rollins Elementary School, Simmons Middle School, and East Aurora High School. I went to college, and my background is in business and criminal justice. Like you mentioned, I have worked with you for almost 12, 13 years. And we worked together at the law office. But prior to the law office, I also worked for the East Aurora School District. So I am also, I am a Tomcat. I worked for District 131. So it's all about EA over here. I do have two beautiful kids. Chloe is 5 and Ryan is 8. And my husband, Michael. And we've been married for a little bit over 10 years.
And what do you do for the city?
I am the office manager. I think we're going to go a little bit more into detail on what I do in the next topic, but just as a summary, my job is to work with the mayor's calendar. I'm kind of just the person that keeps the filter between you and the community. So all the meeting requests and all the appointments and anything that have to do with you come to me first.
Absolutely. And you do it very well.
Thank you.
Thanks for being on with us today, Maria. Let's go to Sandra Navarrete. Tell the community a little bit about you personally and your professional duties here at the city. What you do to help move Aurora forward.
Well, like you said, my name is Sandra Navarrete. I am a police officer with the Aurora Police Department. I've been here for 17 years. I just had an anniversary a couple weeks ago, actually last week.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I have been a juvenile officer, detective, child forensic interviewer, field training officer, and I'm currently a detective now. And I am assigned to the Child Advocacy Center in Kane County, and we just investigate criminal sexual abuse against children. I went to college in McMurray College in Jacksonville, Illinois. Like Maria, it's like my parents are also from Guanajuato. I started school in Mexico, and then my parents moved to Chicago. Grew up in Chicago, in Pilsen. Started school in Pilsen, and all my classes were in Spanish. So I didn't start to learn to speak English till I was in 5th grade.
Wow. Wow.
My parents moved here to give us a better life and had to adjust, but we grew up in Pilsen, primarily a Mexican community. So we didn't need at the moment to learn English because all my classes were in Spanish.
Wow. It's great. Well, I did not know that about you, Sandra. That's great, and although you grew up in Chicago and Pilsen was where you had your start, Aurora is your home now, and we welcome you. You're part of the Aurora family. So thanks for coming on with us today. Great story. Great story.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Now let's go on to my brother, Adrian Perez. Tell our community a little bit about you personally, and what do you do professionally, your duties at the city to help move Aurora forward?
Thank you, Mayor, for having me today. It's truly a blessing and an honor to be part of this conversation.
Absolutely.
During Hispanic Heritage Month. Again, I'm Adrian Perez. I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Streets. A little bit of background on myself. I grew up on the east side of Aurora, right on Gate Street, right there, right behind the high school. I was here right before high school, where my parents decided, I don't know why, to move to Wisconsin, one of the coldest states, but I finally made my way back into Aurora later down the road. But I did go to elementary school, middle school at St. Paul's, which is now San Pablo's, over there on 2nd and Jackson. Both my parents are East Aurora grads, so go Tomcats. I know they're cheering on. Yeah, I've been with the city for a little over 10 years. I started as a summer seasonal help with the street division. So I probably got about 14 to 15 years vested with the city. And in those summers, I just would work before I'd go to college. In Milwaukee, I graduated the Wisconsin Lutheran College with a bachelor's degree in communications. So I'm, my background, my cultural background is Puerto Rican and Mexican. I'm actually what this, I believe Hispanic Heritage Month is all about, being, the second generation, being the first in my family to graduate college. And so I believe that the conversation today is really focused on what people like me are getting into and the futures of our generations to come, especially with the city of Aurora.
Absolutely, my brother. Well, welcome aboard, man. And we're happy to have you in leadership here in the city of Aurora. And we know you're relatively new to the position, but we know you're going to do a real good job, brother.
Thank you.
All right, let's go on to the next individual, Viviana Ramirez, my good friend and fellow lawyer. Tell a little bit about yourself, Viviana, and what you do here for the city of Aurora.
Thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity. So Viviana Ramirez, I am the very proud to say Community Engagement Manager. I've been here for about a month, so just so happy to be here. Thank you. I was born in Colombia. My mom moved to New Jersey, to the States, when I was 2 years old. And so I had the privilege of learning Spanish. Spanish is my first language. So a little bit about me, if I ever start to, my husband always says, honey, you can't say Spanish is your second language, because it's not. It's my first language. Sometimes I will think in Spanish. And so I got to tell you that sometimes I'll revert back. So if I'm having a conversation with any of you, I may just start speaking in Spanish. Proud to be here. As the Community Engagement Manager, I'm working with different initiatives, which we'll talk about a little later. But I made my way to Illinois and Aurora in 2012. I am married. I have 4 kids total, a daughter and 3 stepsons. And I've got to show you this because I have five fur babies. So I count those as my kids as well. I spent 22 years as a practicing attorney, where I got to work alongside of you on some cases, and I love being a lawyer, but I love this position because I say it's everything I love about the law minus the law. I get to work with the community, and I love everybody in the city of Aurora. I spent 4 years on the Hispanic Heritage Advisory Board. And so my passion for the community, and this month specifically with Hispanic Heritage Month, it's just truly an honor to be here, not just working for and with the city, but alongside all of the dedicated professionals that love our community. So thank you.
You're very welcome, and thank you for being aboard. You know, you and everyone, you know, are huge benefits to the city, and I really appreciate you being in leadership as well. Let's go on to the next person, Christine Trinidad. Tell the listeners a little bit about who you are, your background, and what you do for the city.
Sure, absolutely. So thank you, Mayor. Thank you for the opportunity. My name is Christine Trinidad. My maiden name is De Leon. So I've worked for the city for over 10 months in the project management office. So I am working as the IT project manager, managing all of the PMs and all of the work, the great work that we're doing to support the city initiatives, and including Smart City, and also just delivering innovative solutions and providing smart solutions to our city. A little bit about me, I'm a very curious person. I've always been curious about technology, so that's what's led me into various roles, pre-sales, technical engineer, a business analysis, and finally a project manager. So I've traveled to India to train new engineers, and when I traveled there, I truly experienced and embraced the value of what diversity and culture meant to me. And working with different diverse cultures. So that's important to me. I am a first generation college graduate. I was raised in Gary, Indiana. So I'm not from Illinois, but I was born in Chicago. My dad worked at the steel mill. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. So a little bit about my background in history as far as culture, of course, from Puerto Rico. And just a little food for thought in here, if you don't know, that originally when Christopher Columbus arrived in Puerto Rico in 1493, he named it San Juan Batista. But because the river was so rich in gold, the name became Puerto Rico, which means rich port. So that's a little bit of history. And also, as far as the history with Puerto Ricans, there's a bloodline, and it's a mixture. It's a mixture of Spanish, African, Indigenous, Taino, and also Carib and Indian races. So I'm excited to be here. I'm excited to share and to be in the company of all of these wonderful professionals who are part of the Hispanic heritage and part of supporting the city. So thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. We're excited to have you here with us. And I appreciate that little piece of history. I hadn't heard that before, but it makes perfect sense. I visited Puerto Rico a number of times. I always feel good and rich whenever I go to get off on that port. So thanks for joining us today. Let's go to last but definitely not least, the Deputy Mayor, Guillermo Memo Trujillo in the house. Brother, tell folks a little bit about your background. And I've heard your story, you know, a couple times, almost recently, you know, before you came Deputy Mayor a couple months back. Tell the people your story and let them hear what I heard and feel your passion about, you know, being here in the city of Aurora and what you do for the city now and what you've done for the last 30 years.
Well, I arrived here like 77, 78. My parents brought me down from Mexico. I was born in Mexico. I came here at the age of about 6. Basically, like Sandra basically said, it was Spanish was my first language, and not knowing a word of English, and went to classes and got into bilingual classes and basically worked my way there. After 2 years, they kind of basically led you on to go to the regular classes. So you start basically getting into the regular education. All my education's here. Brady, Simmons, Hermes, East Aurora, Wabanzi, DeVry, back to the police department. So I've been with the city since 88. Yes, I'm the oldest guy. I am the oldest guy. Okay, not the gray hair, but it is there. 88, I came on as a cadet. I did cadet program for 2 years, and I came as an officer in 1990. I done everything from patrol, gangs, drugs, investigations, auto theft. I left for the state police for 5 years, worked under the task force for 5 years up in Elgin, and got recruited back or got asked to come back to Aurora in 2001. Since then, I basically concentrated on violent crimes and homicides or serious injuries or death. July of last year, 20, actually 19, I actually retired, and I was off for about a year, and you asked me to come back. And so I came back to help the community. So all of my career has been here with the city. I love the city, and I'm hoping to stay here a little bit longer. My wife's also a retired police officer. She did 20 years. We've been married for 28 years this Saturday coming up.
Oh,
I
congratulations.
won't be at work. I won't be at work on Saturday.
You get the day off, brother.
Yes.
A couple of them.
28 years, and I've been with her for about 33 years.
Wow.
35 years.
Right.
We started dating in 87. So she also, like I said, she retired as a police officer. I have two kids, my son, 25, my daughter, 23. And I'm loving it. I'm loving it. It's I guess we're going to get to the job descriptions a little bit later, but that's my background.
All right, my man. All right. Well, welcome aboard, brother. And he's been doing a great job as deputy mayor. One of the best picks that we in the mayor's office could have made in bringing someone in to just to hold down the fort and make sure we move Aurora forward. Now, Hispanic Heritage Month, what we like to say in Aurora is moving Aurora forward, AURORA AVANZANDO. And it's leaders like you guys that help move us forward. Matter of fact, without your leadership and your participation in this city, we wouldn't move forward. So I appreciate all that you do, and I thank you for helping us move Aurora forward, AURORA AVANZANDO. This is Hispanic Heritage Month, and we know our Latino community has a vibrant mix of cultures and nationalities. But in fact, many of you talked about your different cultures, from Puerto Rico to Colombia to Mexico. Talk about specifically, if you can, your cultural heritage and what it means for you to be here representing your culture in general. What does it mean to feel, a Latino or Latina from Mexico or from Colombia or from Puerto Rico to be here, representing and showing who you are and who your family is and what it brings to the city of Aurora? Let's go ahead and start off with Memo. What does that mean to you, bro?
Well, to me, I'm very proud, and I want to thank you for the opportunity that you got me into this position. It means a lot. It means that I'm representing the community here to the best of my ability. I am in a position I never thought I would be, and I'm hoping to do the best. I'm also happy that my culture can see that you can reach the ultimate goals. The deputy mayor, okay, it's something to said about that title. I don't have final say-sos, but I am here to represent them in this office, which they haven't had before. One. Two, I'm proud of my family for what they actually did to make a better life for me. My dad worked 2 jobs. My mom worked. We used to take care of each other. Basically, in the morning, good morning and cereal, off to school, come back, you take care of yourself. So the struggles that the families have to get you where you are here, I mean, it's proud. Mm-hmm. You're proud of what you have actually accomplished and what you're hoping to accomplish in the future, and hopefully being a good role model for kids nowadays or adults that every day it's a learning experience, something that you can always have a goal to. I guess to a point I get emotional, I'm sorry. But the bottom line is you feel it. You feel that you are happy to do something for the community. Sandra and myself, basically, we've been in the community to serve and protect. I think we serve more than we protect because we're always reactive instead of proactive. Mm-hmm. But we're here to hopefully keep giving to the community. Even if it's a small piece, it's something. And hopefully they appreciate it.
Let me tell you, it's not a small piece, brother. Everything you do, although it may seem like a small piece now, it affects people, and not just today, tomorrow, next week, next year, and for generations, man. You being in that position as deputy mayor is going to affect generations of kids because they're going to see you and say, I want to be just like that guy when I grow up. And that's something to be proud of, brother. And I get emotional about that too, because you're doing a great job. Let's go to Christine. Tell a little bit about, how, your culture, how you feel about how your culture helps you, and do you feel pride about, what you do and what you offer to the city, and how, other young Latinas may see you and want to be like you. Tell us a little bit about how that makes you feel.
Yes, thank you. So for me, it's representing not only Latinas, but women in technology, especially in the STEM type of opportunities that are out there.
Just STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. I think it gives I would hope that it gives the vision and light to other young Latinas and women to want to pursue careers in that area, and to know that they can embrace that and be part of something bigger, especially working for government in City of Aurora and making an impact. It's an opportunity to lead by example, to do brave work, because this is brave work, right? And to inspire others, but also to be accountable towards what I have been given in this opportunity, and to be accountable for that as well as how I represent myself, and providing, being a volunteer, being in the community, and really just practicing what it is that I'm trying to share. So I'm grateful for this opportunity, and I want that to be something that people can say, I'm here, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to be here, even if it's based on whatever, if it's economic or culture, whatever, there are opportunities. So let's, continue to encourage, especially STEM, which I think we're doing a great job. I think we call it STEAM now, but I'm excited because I get to work with the CIO who is passionate about that. So it's just a great combination of that, and just bringing in the culture is so much more exciting, and embracing other cultures and diversity as well.
I agree with what you just said. It is very brave work that you do in the IT field for a woman, and specifically for a Latina, because there aren't very many women in that particular field in IT. For someone like yourself to not only be in that field, but be a leader in that field, that shows that you have bravery, and you're doing a great job. So thank you very much. And you are making your community proud, and women proud that all want to go into that particular field. Thank you for that. Viviana, talk a little bit about your cultural heritage and what it means for you to be here representing, Latinas today.
This is such a wonderful opportunity. So I was listening to Christine and Guillermo, and I was starting to think about, what that meant, and their words mean so much to me. So I remember I moved to the States when I was 2 years old, and I grew up in a Spanish-speaking household. My mom and dad were so proud to impart our heritage. So it was the language, learning to cook Colombian food. Our family get-togethers were very Colombian, whether it was like celebrating like Christmas Eve, we did the big family party. So as I grew up, being proud to be Colombian, being proud to speak Spanish, but then also being very culturally assimilated, loving everything that the United States and the opportunities and the educational opportunities that were presented to me, and then being able to then help my parents, right? Because culturally, we not just give back to our communities, but we also help take care of our families. I became the spokesperson for my parents because I learned English. So my parents, although they spoke English, it was with a heavy accent. So being able to be their interpreter to represent our family. And then when I went to law school, being Colombian, being a woman, and loving all, not just the Colombian culture, but my husband, Tim, and I always say someday when we retire, we want to retire in Mexico because we love the food. I love mariachis. I mean, I will be the first person to say, I want to go to the beach. I want to go to Cancun. I want to go to Mexico. So I think bringing all of the Latina experiences as a lawyer, as a Colombian, as a woman, and then bringing it to the Aurora community, and really such a treasure trove of experiences and diversity. I wouldn't trade being a Latina woman, and I'm so proud to say that. I'm proud to speak Spanish. And so yesterday, really quickly, it was part of something I did for the community engagement manager position, but I had the opportunity to speak to a little girl, a 12-year-old who came from some similar background. And when she was like, oh, you're a lawyer also, and you speak Spanish, like her little eyes lit up. And so to me, everything that I bring to the table as a Latina, woman, lawyer, community, And all of those family experiences, like listening to Christine and Guillermo, and I'm sure Sandra, Maria, and Adrian too, it's just, I wouldn't trade it for the world. So thank you. A lot of depth.
You know, that little girl that looked at you probably with so much admiration, and probably one day looked hoping that she could be just like you. You know, you made a difference in her life, and you don't, maybe you do realize it, but sometimes we don't realize just, you know, just doing what we do and being the leaders that we are. Other young people are looking at us, you know, they're looking at us to see what they could be. They're looking at you guys on this screen to see what they could be, and you're telling them that they could be leaders, Latinas and little Latinos, you know, little boys, that they can be just like you. Adrian, talk a little bit about your cultural heritage and what it means for you to be here representing culture in general, brother.
And basically, being Mexican and Puerto Rican and listening to everybody so far, and even the prior conversation, it's a very proud culture on both ends, and really the Latin culture altogether. We're very proud people, very hardworking. There's a lot of love, it's very loud, excited. You know, it's everything that I think anybody could ever want in a culture. And you know, my family, listening to my grandparents and my parents, their stories, they actually were in Milwaukee during the '67 riots. And to go through that, to hear my grandparents' stories of the National Guard being deployed, and you know, the disbursements of a community, and actually not just one community at the time was you know, heavily African American, but then you still had a Spanish community too that was being driven, and it's just very tough to hear. But I'm also very proud that they made it through that together with another community, and then they made their way finally after '67 to Aurora, and that's where they implemented their roots here in Aurora, which is great, because you know, I've been fortunate to be a part of the city. I've seen it grow, and just watching the immense diversity that we do have in Aurora, not just within the Latino community, but other communities as well. So, you know, it's very hard work. The minority community and just Aurora in general, we're hard workers, very hard workers. We're very proud of this city. Everything we do is probably the most neighborly thing. It's a large city, but it's always a very small town. I mean, I could run into somebody maybe 3 or 4 times, you know, as big as the city is, and you're like, oh, I remember you. So, and even the kids, you know, what we do here at the streets, you know, we might be trimming trees around the school, and then they see, you know, a bunch of different cultures there working very hard to make that community safe. And that's ultimately our goal, you know, not only to implement our cultures and everything that we do, but it's just to better every community the best that we can. So that I'm really proud of it. I'm very proud of, you know, where my previous you know, generations have come, and how much that they strive for that American dream, and they found it here in Aurora. So very proud of that.
Wow, that's great, brother. We're proud of you. And a lot of things you said, man, hit home, you know, that being, you know, first generation, and you know, and the struggles that you had to go through, but you and your family overcame those struggles. And now you can share your culture with other cultures in Aurora and recognize that we're all in this together. You know, so I appreciate that you coming through and working hard to make it, you know, and your parents sacrificing to make sure you had a better life. So your kids and all the kids around that see you will have a better life as well. So thank you for what you do, brother. Appreciate your leadership. All right, let's go to Sandra. Tell a little bit about your culture and heritage and what it means for you to be here representing as a police officer, a Latina police officer here in the city of Aurora.
Great, thank you. Well, I will try not to cry, because like Memo was saying,
Let it go. Cry. It's okay. It's okay.
Okay,
It's very emotional.
I'm ready.
I'm sorry, Sandra. Go ahead. We didn't mean to cut you off.
I am so proud to represent the Mexican community as a female Latina police officer in a male-dominant profession, that I conquered my struggles growing up here, not knowing how to speak English. My parents came here to give us a better life, and they conquered all their struggles to give us that better life. It makes me so proud to continue to represent the culture by being a Latina, a Mexican police officer in Aurora, in a city that is so diverse And I'm so overwhelmed with joy when people are so happy when I show up to their house. They're like, oh, you speak Spanish. It's like finally someone that they can communicate with, and they don't have to rely on their children or their spouse who they might be having an issue with. And now they have to rely on them to tell the police, their story, how they were victimized or something. It's just like, it's so important for me to represent the community and the police department, because we are representing the community that we serve, so I can't tell you just how proud I am to be Latina, to be Mexicana, and be able to speak Spanish fluently. And that is my first language as well. The most I am, it's like, I hope I'm making my parents proud. But at the same time, it's like, I also, I hope that I'm making the community proud. And I hope that I am representing the Aurora Police Department, that I'm representing them well, and that they appreciate, our hard work, because, I am so proud to be here. And I'm so happy that I made this move. I started working in River Forest in 2001. So yes, 20 years ago, I became a police officer. And in my police academy, there was an Aurora police officer, canine officer there, and he spoke so highly of Aurora. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know if my internet connection is.
We can still hear you. We can still hear you. You're good.
And he spoke so highly of Aurora that I thought, it's like, that's where I want to go. That's where I want to work. And here I am 20 years later, being 17 years with the Aurora Police Department and this wonderful city. It's like, I have no regrets of coming here to Aurora. They have opened so many doors for me. And it's like, it's the best decision that I ever made. And here I am, 17 years later, I still love coming to work every single day. I don't have, any bad days. It's like, I don't dread coming to work. And this is what the city has given me and has offered me. So I am so proud to represent all the Latinas, Mexicanos here in Aurora, and especially my family. And I hope I'm making them all proud.
Can I say something, Sandra, that you make Aurora proud? You make Aurora Police Department proud. And most importantly, I expect that you make your mother and father and your whole family proud for everything that you do every day to give back to this community and to represent the Latinas and Latinos, especially as a woman here in a police department, a male-dominated profession. You do a great job every day, and you make all of us proud. Thank you for being you. Thank you for doing what you do and getting up and enjoying it every single day when you come to work.
Thank you.
And Maria, can you tell a little bit about your cultural heritage and what it means for you to be here representing in general? And, and I'll just say that Maria is the oldest of eight siblings. And so not only was she a leader in our community, she's been a leader in her family since, since she could remember. So tell a little bit about your background.
Yes. Thank you, Mayor. Yes, like you said, I come from a family of 8. My mom and my dad had six girls and 2 boys, and I am the oldest. So, just listening to everybody share, sharing their story with us, I think that, how do I feel being here? I feel very, very proud. I feel very, very proud because, like I mentioned, my parents brought me here when I was 6 years old. My parents risked my mom. One day, my dad called my mom and said, "Hey, do you want to come and take a trip over here and meet us in Aurora?" And I think that my dad didn't believe that my mom would get the courage to pack 4 kids under the age of 6. And she out of the nowhere said, "Yes, we're coming." So here comes my mom. I can't even imagine the how scared she was and where she got all that courage to bring 4 little ones crossing the border. And just seeing all that sacrifice that both of my parents have done through the years, I feel like it's so rewarding to have somebody in the mayor's office. Every time, and I think that Memo and I have talked before, where, you know, we are that one cousin, that one daughter, that one sister that everybody goes to. If somebody has a question about anything, oh, ask Maria. If anybody needs help translating, ask Maria. So it feels so rewarding to know that all of those sacrifices that my parents did, you know, 30 something years ago have paid, because, you know, I am able to represent the Hispanic community. I am able to help my people, and I'm able to let the Hispanic community know, que si se puede, that we can do it, that, you know, if we study hard, if we work hard, we can get to, you know, big opportunities like I have now, being with you, working in the mayor's office, and being able to help, you know, everyone that we can. And it's really nice to be able to be out in the community and being able to help those people in need, speaking Spanish, and helping them with that. You know, sometimes they're like, well, we have a question, but we don't know of anyone that speaks or can understand what we're trying to ask. And it's so rewarding to be able to help those people and be able to give that person an answer and make them feel like they belong. And, you know, I owe all of that to my parents.
Si se puede.
Si se puede.
Yes, we can. We can accomplish anything.
Yes.
If we believe in ourselves, if we have people that understand who we are, that can communicate with us effectively, and all you guys communicate with your constituents effectively. And it may be as simple as just being able to speak someone's language, to understand them, you know, to make them feel a part of the community. Yes, we can, if we continue to work together. You guys make sure we work together. You know, that's why we call this AURORA AVANZANDO, moving Aurora forward. And you guys help move us forward. Matter of fact, without you, we could not move forward. You know, we've been talking about the effect of young people that, you know, all of your positions have, you know, and I used to, you know, before COVID, and I'm sure when COVID's over, I'll start doing it again, visiting schools and talking to young people about what it means to have a dream, and to make that dream come true, to set a goal and to accomplish that goal. And it doesn't matter what color you are, what language you speak, you know, what neighborhood you live in, no matter how poor. If someone believes in you and can communicate effectively and makes you feel a part of this community, this Aurora culture, then you will be able to succeed. You know, so I'm going to ask you guys a question. You know, we always want to take the opportunity to pass on knowledge to the next generation of leaders. We have, you know, classrooms throughout Aurora watching today, and those that will watch later. What is one piece of advice you want to pass to the youth here in Aurora? Maria, I'll start with you.
I would say embrace your culture. Remember where you come from. Remember where your ancestors, your mom, your dad. For instance, me, I tell my kids all the time, we need to learn Spanish. We need to remember where your mommy and your daddy, well, not daddy, your mommy came, and my mom and my dad. We have to remember to embrace our culture. We have to support each other. And like I said earlier, we need to be able to let our community know, and our young kids, the kids that are looking at us, que si se puede, that we can do it. If you work hard, if you go to school, and if you stay on the right track, you will be able to one day be assisting the mayor of Aurora.
You know, my grandfather used to always say to me, if you know where you've been and where you're from, you always know where you're going. If you know where you've been, you know where you're going. You know, so that's important. Thanks for that, Maria. Sandra, what would you tell our young people? What piece of advice, word of wisdom would you give them?
Well, I would piggyback off of what Maria said. It's like, always be proud of where you came from. Always be proud of your culture. Don't ever be ashamed of your culture. Don't be ashamed to speak your language. Don't ever lose that, and conquer all those struggles, all those fears that you may have, because, you know, our parents did it, we did it. So that means that you can do it too. And like Maria said, si se puede. Siempre sean orgullosos de su país, de sus raíces y de dónde vienen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Adrian, what piece of advice would you give, my brother?
As I said before, I'm kind of the example of what happens when the transition generationally. I have parents that have gone through the struggle, and I'm the first one in my family to get an education, graduate college, because of their hard work, because of the, cultural information, background, whatever they could instill in me, being bilingual. It's, you get emotional about, because it's the love that you have. But for all you young people out there listening, please work hard, continue to educate yourself, and be of service to each other, because that is the best character building attribute that you could have going forward later in life, is just continue to be of service to each other.
Service is key, brother. We've got to look out for each other. We've got to serve each other. This is one community. I often hear me say one Aurora. It's not just a tagline. It means that we are one community. Whether we're Black, white, Latino, Indian, or Asian, we are here together, and only together we make a difference. Thank you, brother. Viviana, what word of advice would you give to our young people?
So everyone shared such wonderful things. I think for me, and I thought about this all morning, because, I was like, I want to say like 20 different things, right? But I think for me, like listening to your inner voice, if you listen to your inner voice and you dream big, like believe in yourself and don't let other people tell you what you can or can't achieve. So you got to dream big, and everyone has said it here, si se puede. If you listen to your inner voice and you believe in yourself and you dream big, then that constant mantra, si se puede, si lo puedo hacer, and let that be that guiding voice to propel you forward. And so that any opportunity that comes your way, no matter how hard it may seem, if you tell yourself, si se puede, then that's going to give you the encouragement to pursue your dreams.
Absolutely. I mean, and that is so deep, my grandfather, he told me so many things when I was a young boy that I wasn't paying attention to at the time, but it makes so much sense today, as if you think about it, every great man or woman that ever accomplished any goal once had a dream that goal might happen. And then they made it happen. Just think about every great thing that's happened, in the world, that every man or woman did. They once dreamt about it and then made it real. So that's very important. Have dreams. Christine, what piece of advice would you give our young people?
Absolutely. I think I echo what everyone has said so far. I would say be curious. Dare to be a leader. You don't need a title to be a leader. You're a leader in your own right, embracing your culture, your values. Know that there will be challenges, but try to embrace those challenges where you are and turn those into opportunities. There's a door that's going to be open or closed, and it's up to you. And never compare yourself to anyone. Continue to believe in what you believe in, but always be curious about the world that you're in, especially with the culture, and also embracing other cultures and diversity as well. And know that, like I said in the beginning, it's going to be brave work, but if you continue with that passion and what it is that you're setting out to do, the doors will open for those opportunities, but also look for them as well. Volunteer, be a part of programs. When things come up at school, take that first step, even if you're scared, if you're curious, just take the first step. That's all it takes, is that one step towards it. And it's just unimaginable the things that can open up for you when you just try and just be curious.
Absolutely, Christine. I think something you said was very profound. You don't need a title to be a leader. You do not need a title to be a leader. Stand up and recognize who you are and what you have to offer. And just do you, lead. Let's close this out with last question with Memo Trujillo, Deputy Mayor. Brother, what words of wisdom would you give our young people that listen?
I think there's a couple of them that I like to say. Number one is exactly that. The title doesn't make you, you make the title. Number one, okay, that's one. Two is always be a role model for anyone and everyone, because you're in everybody's view, everybody's eyes out there. And I have a couple of them. Number one is take a look in the mirror every morning and see what you see. because who you see is who you represent. You represent yourself as well as your family and your community. That's what you need to consider, that everybody's looking at you and you got to put your best foot forward. Okay. If you have goals, don't just say, I have dreams. Yes, you can make them come true. But if you have goals, write them down, put them somewhere where you can see them every day, because if you see it, you have something to reach for. You have something to work forward to. So make them true, but you have to have goals. Don't go on a day-by-day basis. Always, when I worked the gang unit, I always ask the guys, I said, what are you going to do tomorrow? He goes, I don't know, man. I may not be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's never guaranteed. I know that. But the bottom line is, if you have goals, you have something to work towards. You have something to consider out there. And always trust and believe in yourself. Don't let somebody else have to validate you. If you like yourself, you love yourself, then you can do it. And you have to love yourself before you love others. If you don't love yourself, you're never going to be able to share that love with anybody else out there. And my last one, always think before you act. Think before you act. Don't act and have a long time to think about it. I used to tell the meth out there on the street, you think of what you're doing now, and if that's going to lead you to a bad result, don't do the result and then have a long time to think about what you did. Hopefully those things, those 4 things or 5 things that I said will start a fire under you. And the last one, hopefully, is just respect each other. Give respect and you will get it back in return. Thank you.
That's my motto, brother. Treat everybody like you want to be treated. Simple as that. Respect each other. You know, before I give closing remarks, I'm going to ask Mr. Muhammad, do we have any comments from the listening audience today?
Oh, definitely. I thank you again. You guys are absolutely amazing. Please check out the social media. Nothing but love, saying you represent your families, your culture, the city exceptionally well. Sandra, one person said you owe her money for mascara because you made her cry her mascara off this morning in the middle of her workday. So thank you for touching hearts. Great job.
Great job, everyone. You know, let me thank, our guests yet again today for being here and for bringing excellence into City Hall every single day. In the next 2 weeks, we'll talk with Latino educators and healthcare leaders in Aurora. So tune in each Wednesday at noon. To learn more about events for Hispanic Heritage Month sponsored by the City of Aurora, visit www.aurora-il.org/Aurora Avanzando. That's www.aurora-il.org/Aurora Avanzando. Hey guys, you did amazing today. You're all leaders in your own right. You don't need a title for that. And your leadership shines here in the City of Aurora. It clearly shines. We wouldn't be where we are and going where we're going without everything you do every day. So thank you for being you. Thank you for getting up every day, coming to work and being happy about doing your job and making a difference. We'll see you next time. See you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Bye.
Aurora.